What up, Bars Nation? Welcome back to another installment of the Dropping Bars podcast. I am your host, Kimron Korean, and today I am chatting with my friend
Yep, yep.
Lynn Abraham Edwards. Lynn is with me on the podcast today. You know what? Lynn needs no introduction. She's a friend of the podcast. As a matter of fact, I said to Lynn, "Hey, just come on the podcast. Let's chop it up a little bit." And
As we usually do.
as we usually do, we don't have any topic per se, right? So, Lynn, how was your week? I mean,
I think it's January. So,
yeah,
the week it was hectic. It is a lot. I think the my line of work. I guess everybody. I'm in corporate telecoms, but on the corporate side, like the business
mhm,
solution side now. So everybody, all the companies were down. They were a little relaxed for December because people thinking about their Christmas party and everybody taking care of that side of things. And then January come and everybody decide, well, let's get back to business.
no, well.
Yeah. So it's a little hectic. It was a little hectic, but I got through it. I didn't have a lot of time like to look at social media, to kind of relax a little. But the one time I did, I saw a video that I think we need to talk about on this
Boy, oh
uh,
boy.
on this podcast because I was like, I don't know if that's something like my friend. So I didn't listen to the entire video because I saw the caption. I was like, interesting. I think it's the video you did about wanting to be liked by everyone. So
Oh, yes, yes,
we have
yes,
to
yes,
talk
yes.
about that. But yeah, the week was it was all right. I didn't get to exercise as much as I want to, but
Right.
we live to
Actually,
fight another day.
actually, me too. Like, I actually damaged my hand a little bit, so I haven't been exercising, been to the gym. But I'm
Mhm.
hoping to get back on that grind.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, like, that video I did. Hmm.
I
You know,
want to
I
hear.
like,
First, I want to hear
yeah.
what the perspective was because I didn't listen to it.
Okay, so just to kind of go back a little bit, like this year, one of my things this year is to create more content and to
Mhm.
create more authentic and genuine content. Create
Right,
not just create content because like I feel like this will be a good thing to talk about, but just talk about things that I'm feeling, things that I know that the people that I'm talking to can relate to, right?
right.
So, and I know, for example, like with this podcast, like I lost a lot of momentum
Hmm.
when last year, like end of last year, when I paused the podcast for a bit for personal development when I traveled, and I kid you not, Lynn, one of my first videos this year was about momentum and
Yeah.
being continuity, right? And it was so difficult once I lost that momentum to start to try to
To step
build
back.
back that
Mhm.
momentum. So, yeah, one of the things, like at least some people, if you're listening to this, like momentum is key. If you're working on something, try your best to not lose that momentum. When you lose that
Yeah.
momentum, that's dangerous. You could lose it all. But anyways, going back to the video,
I have something to say about
that
momentum,
you
but
saw. I mean, you can jump in now, and then I can tell
let
you
me go
about the
back.
video.
So
Yeah, yeah.
I have the same issue with the momentum because, well, those of us who know me, I think we might have a one or two crossover guests,
Hmm.
audience members. Sorry, you know that I do Get Real Mondays too, and I had a wonderful momentum in 2022 was wonderful for the Get Real Mondays. And in January of 2023, when I moved from department from where I was, very comfortable, I was like, I used to do corporate training. So I could train with my eyes closed. So it didn't take much for me to train and then come and do Get Real Mondays, much of the same thing, a lot of talking, just a lot of talking. So it's just, do the same thing. But when I started this new department, it was totally new. I've never been in business solutions before. Everything, the products, everything was different. The way we operate in even if it's the same business, the department is so different. So it took a lot from it. It's a lot of mind work. And some people think, you go to an office and you sit down and you just do work and it's easy, but that thing does drain you. When you see this have to be engaged for the entire day,
Yeah.
that drains you. So that kind of, and then a lot of other things were happening at the same time. So it kind of, I had to put Get Real Mondays on the back burner because I couldn't do all of it. I felt like if I was dying, I was like, ways. I just couldn't do all of it again. And now I know I need to start back Get Real Mondays, but bro, it's scary. Let me be transparent. Let us have the conversation. It is
Yes.
scary to
Let,
start.
let's get let's get real. Let's get real.
Let's get real, yeah? On dropping bars. It is scary to start back. So, I mean, it might be hard in the moment when you're doing it to try to juggle everything, but I'll co-sign. The best thing to do when you have that momentum, when you have that rhythm going, keep it. Try your best to keep it. Stay consistent and keep it, because when you lose momentum to get back there, oh my gosh. Just and
Yeah.
the thing
Yes.
that used to come easy to you, you start like there are so many different things that happen when you stop. You think it's just momentum, but then you start to overthink the thing. Well, people maybe forget me. Who is me to go back and start this thing? Who going and listen again? How I going and reach out to people? Everything that seemed to be so easy when you had the momentum now seems to be like the biggest tasks ever. So, if all you have it, keep
Keep it.
it.
Yeah, trust me. I trust me. I feel you on that. That's exactly
Mhm.
what happened to me. And I'm like, you know what? Whether I have guests or not, I am coming back
Funny,
on
yeah.
dropping bars, and I am just doing my thing.
Dropping bars.
I'm doing my thing. I'm dropping bars. Like, if if not, then this we might find ourselves in July 2025, and I'm still trying to figure out when would I start back dropping bars, right? So
Yes, because I've seen this happen. I'm like, oh, I have to set a date for getting back to Get Real Mondays and keep that. Like work towards that. Stop fantasizing about it. Set the
but
date and get to it.
yeah, and that's exactly what happened to me at the beginning of the year. And I'm like, you know what? I'll just do it. And there's one other project I need to start, and I'm gonna start this week.
Oh, nice.
Because because like I need to build back that momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And so, anyways, going back to what you asked me
Mm-hmm.
about. That video was about being liked, wanting to be liked by everyone. And you see, I was thinking about going and shoot a video, right? And the video I was gonna do was about accepting the fact that not everyone is gonna like you, and that whole shebang. And then as I'm thinking about the like what I'm gonna say and the thought process, I'm saying to myself, but Kimron, but you want to be liked by everyone, so it's
Don't be
like
hypocrite.
deep down, exactly, because it's like, okay, on the surface, I am saying not everyone's gonna like you, not everyone will like you, but the truth is, deep down, I have this desire to be liked, and it's not, and it's a desire to be liked in the sense that for people to say, well, Kimron is a good boy, or
Mhm.
Kimron is the real deal, or Kimron is like a good friend, or you
Mhm.
know, like I want when people see me, like they don't have anything negative to say about me, and the truth is, like, that's just not realistic
Right.
in the sense that people are gonna say things about you. Like, I've had people say things about me in the last year. People who don't even know me, but maybe they would have seen me online, seen me doing videos and so, and start thinking, well, I
Who is
mean,
he?
who is he? They form an opinion of me based on what they're seeing online, and it's like everything negative to say. So, and sometimes when that happens, like, somebody might say, oh, well, this person was talking to me about you or whatever. Or I remember my brother-in-law one time recorded some people talking smack about me, and I'm like, but I don't even know these people. I've never done anything to them. Like, why don't they like me? So I mean, I'm saying to myself, you know what? Deep down, like, it doesn't matter what I say. I can come out and I can say,
I can
oh,
pretend to be above it all.
everyone, exactly. I can be above it all. Like, oh, I don't want nobody to like me. Mind you, there are some people that they don't give a ass. They don't care. Like whether you like them or you don't like them, they don't care. But for me,
Yeah.
like I have to be truthful to myself. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't fool yourself, right? So
Yeah, I always say the biggest
for
lie
me,
you could tell,
it's
the worst lie you could tell is the lie you tell to yourself.
yourself. Exactly. So I'm saying to myself, but Kimron, the truth is, you want people to like you. Like
Right.
I want to be liked. So the video was about owning owning that fact that yes, while I sometimes we say, oh, it doesn't matter if people like you or not, and whatever the case is, and just keep doing your thing and focus on yourself and focus on the people that are in your circle and whatever. The truth is, I'm speaking for me. I want to
Mm-hmm.
be liked.
Mm-hmm.
The
Well, you
truth
have a
is,
sister here.
not everybody's gonna like me, and I have to accept that. But I'm just saying that deep down,
Desire.
the
No,
desire is there.
you have a sister here. And I think if we really think about it, in theory, we know the theory. And that's, to me, at least that is good. The fact that we understand that not everyone would like us. We know that it is unrealistic. So in theory, we're like, all right, cool. I know
Mhm.
everybody's gonna like not going to like me. You understand, but the fact is the desire is still there.
Exactly.
The fact is the desire is there. First thing first, in this time, in this era, when everybody on social media, I am me and I don't care, it's very brave
Yes.
to put
Yes.
yourself out on blast like that. Because most of us don't want to admit that that is the fact. That I want to be like partner, I want to be liked as well. I want to be liked as well. It hurts when people don't like me. I mean, I understand. I've come to terms with the fact that one, my personality would not allow everybody to like me. I've
Exactly.
come to the I've come to the fact, and I've understood that, but I know that the desire is there. You know what's funny when you said it, not as you've explained it too. I think it might have things to do with how we were brought up, because I think there is a lot of similarities in how we were brought up. We have intersecting communities because we grew up in the
Right.
same church. Um and quite frankly, I think that especially our religious upbringing, we've been brought up to think that we should be the standard, the good boy thing, the validation thing. Um, it kind of stems from how we were influenced by our religion and by our church. If from at least from how I look at it and when I think about it, and it's a hard thing to break. And for me, I don't think I'm trying to break it so much. I'm just acknowledging it and also learning to apply the theory and the reality that everybody not going to like me to that desire. The fact is, innately, because of how I was brought up, it's there. It's there. I want to be the good girl. You were the bright boy. I was the bright girl. It's the same thing. We grew up in the same church. The community had so much expectations of us, and in our little circle in Grenada, in our little circles, we are the people that people. Oh yes, for sure. I know
Yeah.
Janice boy good Janice boy. Do they in that Sharon girl? Do they in that Sharon?
Exactly.
Girl, you understand? And then we come out in the real world and expect that everybody else would see that. And it kind of our personality is not easy to take.
I'm telling you, no, for real, for real. Like, I mean, I like what you said. Like your personality, and same thing with me. My personality is not going to allow for everyone to like me. Everyone, yeah, it's just not going to happen. Like I am who I am, and
Yeah.
not everybody could handle Kimron. Not everybody could deal with Kimron. I mean, for some people, I might be a little bit too of a show off, or I might be like who do you think you are coming on the internet? I want to talk about
Ooh,
all these
ooh,
things.
that's
Like like like
come
like
on.
like like who the hell do you think you are to like do this thing?
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, hey, let me get dirty food came right from the cocoa. You know? I know you wanna play it.
Point.
But I
And-
mean, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. And
yeah.
I think the truth is, I think that I have like genuinely I have accepted the fact that not everybody will like me. I've accepted
Yeah.
that fact. But it doesn't take away from the fact that I'm like, well, I'm great. Like, why
Mhm.
don't you like me? Like it doesn't take away from the fact that
Indignation that we have.
I know, right? I
Why
you know
don't you like
like
me?
yeah, I mean that the desire to be like is still there, despite the fact that I know for a fact that people are not gonna like me. So I did a video and I was asking people like how have you dealt with people not liking you for no
Mm-hmm.
reason, number one, but just
Mm-hmm.
in general, like because I know I have some people, there are some people out there within my community that really and truly nothing about other people bothers them in the sense that the likability thing,
Yeah, I think
right?
my husband is kind of like that. We like oil and water in that way. He don't care,
Yeah,
and the thing about it is, it does bother me that he don't. I find it so strange. Why would you sit down there operating like I
like
don't?
normal.
You sit down in the people place or in the people presence, and what they do, how they do it, just it it don't bother you. And I'm like, you just sit down there, you're looking so standoffish. She was like, but I just sit down. You're not engaging. Why are you not engaging? Because you know the poor little social me. When I'm out there, I'm
Mm.
social. So and he's not. So yeah, he sit down there and in his own little world. And I'm like, this is so uncomfortable. Yesterday he said to me, you sure it's not a you thing? You just be putting your what you think people thinking in their head on because I always be trying to joking
No,
him
that's
like,
true.
mm-hmm,
That's a good point. That's a good point. And I don't want to lose it because the truth is, a lot of the times when you think people are thinking about you or thinking something about you, they're not.
they're not.
A lot of the time we think that, oh, she don't like me, or oh, she think. Then people have their own problems dealing with. They don't have
Exactly.
you to study. Sometimes it's us. We are projecting our insecurities on other people,
On other people. So
and that's
and
what happens sometimes.
I'll bring up that because in work, right? In in the new department, I know it are people that can't stand me because at the end of the day, I came across that the department is their business solutions, so they're corporate people, and
Mm.
but I came from the consumer side. I'm very customer oriented, so I'm outside there loud and brash and just out there, and I came in and it's like there is a shift in the department because it's like they finally have a chance to laugh. You know how much people is like, why are you a comedian? Because I don't just come in and I just sit down and it's fun. I'm not coming
Right.
to work to sit and just I can't do it. So everybody around me, you could see them start to open, most of them start to open up.
Mhm.
But there's of course the few who's that's just not their personality. So
Right.
me just being me is kind of disruptive. It's kind of disruptive to them. And I think it was a week ago I made a joke. It had a she's kind of there's a new person in our department and she came in. All of us started no, there's no this thing where once all of us there, we're talking, we're laughing. We do not work, but
Mhm.
we're talking, we're laughing. She's
Right.
not like that. And she came into it. So she's in the middle of the whole thing. And I went and stand next to her and we were all joking. I was making a joke and everybody laughing. But the joke, she was kind of the butt of the joke. So everybody was
Oh.
right. So I made a joke and I said the young lady, it's how I said it. It wasn't because it's nothing mean. I just said the young lady needs to move. I said, oh, okay. She would move her seat. This is my seat from next week. And she'll move her seat. And we're just laughing. But she was so uncomfortable until the day after it was the day after or the same evening, yes. One of the guys who was there and laughed, he wasn't laughing because he realized she was uncomfortable. But me in
Right.
my loud self, not even realizing the young lady uncomfortable. So he pulled me up. He said, that was unnecessary. So I was like, what you talking about? He said, the joke, all of all, it was just laughing. I said, but it's a joke. He said, so all you really don't like her? So I'm like, what? How? He said, no, because she feel like all they don't like. But sir, I don't work with her that much. I don't think about her. You think the joke came from a place of malice? And I'm like, but we just get so caught up in our own words. This young lady walking around the office thinking, because we laugh at a joke, we don't like her, for sure. For sure, people don't like her in the office. And I said to him, you're doing a disservice for letting her believe. Because you know it's not coming. That's how we are. So maybe you should just tell her that is how we are. Just say that is how we are. We just gonna laugh. Because at the end of the day, if she come here every day thinking all of us ain't like her, that is a
But But I mean,
good.
but I
Follow.
mean, I could understand where she's coming from because I mean, she was what how did I say the butt of the joke.
All of
So
us
I
are
mean, right, right. So, but then remember, she is
she don't know.
new, so
Yeah,
she
she
don't
don't
know how to
know.
help the organization. So if I go somewhere and then everybody just laughing me, like I don't want to that way. So I mean, I understand why maybe she felt in a
She
particular way.
felt
So maybe it then necessitated like somebody could go and say, listen,
this
this is
is
not the
just
kind
how we are.
of people
Yeah.
that
And I told him that because he was like, so if she came to you, I said, no, that the type of person I am, if she came to me and she said she didn't like it, I'd be like, oh, sorry. And I would have just explained to her. But like certain circumstances, sometimes based to on how other interactions would have happened, you expect a certain, especially if my personality loud. So you think, oh, if I go to her, she might snap at me, but so, and other
Mhm.
circumstances that you've had previously kind of inform how you would operate in other situations. And it just validated that a lot of the times what's going on in our head is not necessarily the reality. It's not
Yeah,
especially
and
when it
yeah,
comes to other people.
that's it. That's it. But I think in this case, while it was not a situation where nobody liked her, that I mean, I couldn't see why she felt some way, especially if she's not accustomed to the culture, she don't understand the culture of the organization.
She don't understand it of that department in particular.
Of
And,
that
and it's
department.
and it's and it's quite it's a change too, if I'm being honest. And not that I toot him I saying like it, but it has changed from how they used to be before. They were typically a really quiet group. They'll come in, just sit down there. But now with the injection of new energy,
Yeah.
they are a little looser, they are a little more relaxed. So I guess, if even if at orientation or whensoever, they may not even given her that, they have given her that expectation. Expect a relaxed crowd. No, they most likely, what is happening now and what they most likely told her would happen is two
Mhm.
different things. So all of these little nuances does actually affect the way we see things, the way we feel. And sometimes we just have to be real about the situation.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. And I could appreciate that because I know in many instances I have had situations where I've seen people and I I I form an opinion in my head about who that person is and maybe
Yeah.
what they're about and how they react to me just based on the exterior, the facial, the face
Biases.
and the body language, and I'm like, nope, that person is a standoffish person. I'm not gonna rap with that person. But then the truth is, in something might happen, and me and that person end up having to like have a conversation or whatever, and then I'm realizing like,
Ooh,
holy shit, that
that's
person
a
is
key
like
one.
the coolest. Like I had an experience, right? And I'll never remember. One of the first places that I went to work when I came from studying in 2010, and I was in a leadership position, and I came in there, and well, you know me, like I just like you in a sense, full of energy, come in
Yeah.
there, bringing the vibe and whatever the case is, and everything working, and I'm thinking everything is going good and everything is going nice and dandy, and eventually it did turn out like that. And then I remember it was maybe like a year or so afterwards, or somewhere along the line, when like me and my staff got we are really close. We were like a family. And
Right.
then one day we sit down and we're chatting, and one of the one of the staff members tell me, Korean, you know I couldn't stand you when you just came here. I'm like, why? Like, she's like, I don't know. I just like you came in and you was just like, I thought you were like cocky and just full of yourself and just,
Oh.
and yeah, like I couldn't stand you, but now you're the best, so I can't do nothing, right?
And
Um,
in what in these instances before, I would have been affected by that. Like if somebody said, I couldn't, it would have been so, like it would have been bothering me so much. I had to go back in my brain. But how I used to behave then, how I need to make sure people and feel like if I cocky now, and now it's like, I understand.
yeah, no, for me, it didn't affect. It was actually more like I was like laughing. Like to me, it was funny. What I would
Right.
say. So it was funny. So like we were just laughing and talking about it, and it wasn't a case whereby I felt offended or anything like
Mhm.
that. As a matter of fact, I appreciated that we've gotten to we've gotten to this place as
Good.
a family where we can just say whatever
And
and
be open. And you don't see
be
me
open.
as your superior, and you can't have those conversations with me. Yes, I love
Exactly, exactly. So for me it wasn't. I didn't go back and start thinking, okay, well, oh, what? No, 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 no. I mean, obviously, yes, we have to do some introspection sometimes because
it. Mhm.
sometimes you have to think, what is it about my first impression with people that might be standoffish or that might be giving
Yeah.
off something that I don't want it to. But in that moment, while I would have thought about that, but it wasn't from a place of um like I took offense or anything like that.
Right.
It was just it just reiterated this fact in my head that hey, people are going to form opinion of you from first impression or whatever. That's why people say first impression is a lasting impression.
It's a
I
lasting
mean,
one, yeah.
the good thing is I had the opportunity to change her impression because we were working together on a daily basis. But in
Yeah.
some cases, you might find a
Yeah.
situation where you don't get that opportunity to change somebody's impression of you. And
Correct.
so the first impression that somebody have is the lasting impression, and that's the reason why another video that I posted either during the last week or whatever, I posted a video about personal branding and
Yep.
understanding your social footprint.
Yep.
And I spoke about the fact that what we do on social media could have serious impact or repercussion on our life. And the truth is, some of us, the people that we are on social media, is not the person that we are in real life.
In real life.
However,
Correct.
however, people are going to form opinion of you. And in many cases, we can say, well, I don't care about somebody's opinion of me. But you have to care, especially if you are seeking opportunities such as jobs, scholarships, and whatever, because the thing that you post on social media will impact somebody's perception of you. And in this particular case, you have to care because if I am looking to employ you in my
Hmm.
company, my business, and I am looking at your social media, your Facebook, your wherever, and the thing that you are posting is not in line with the values of my company, then I'm not gonna hire you just for that.
Correct.
So
Correct.
right.
Now,
So that's what and sorry, and that's what I think that in many cases our first impression now is a digital first impression, and we have to be so mindful about that.
you have to
You were
be
saying
mindful
something.
about that. No, I like how your spin to it. Your spin is true to what your purpose and what your intention is when you're using social media to show them how it affects their life in the world of work, like in business and those things. When I started Get Real Mondays, that was the intention because I saw that, and I knew for my own self because I was going through it too, where people look at you based on what you post on social media and they have this certain ideology of you. But in real life, it's not the same. And sometimes, like in my case, it's not even pretensive or malicious. It's just that for me, I naturally, you wouldn't, there are certain conversations that you just wouldn't see me having on social media. There are certain things that you just wouldn't see me reposting. That doesn't mean that I don't consume it, that I don't talk about it. It's just that I'm very careful about the way I put myself out there. And then you look at me on social media, some young person look at me on social media and think, oh, she has it all together. So, just based on my social media and how intentional I am about posting, what I've gotten, because when I was young, I wasn't as intentional, but just how intentional I've gotten about what I post, what I repost, because I started to understand our responsibility. People could look at it and think, oh, she has it all together. All the while, there were so many things I myself was struggling with. People think, oh, she's a go-getter with all of this, high self-esteem and blah blah. And I was struggling just the same. And I just felt like, let me start something where we could be real. Like we could just have conversations. We could talk, we could share our stories, and people could see things that they can identify with. And we can like go through the thing together. We don't have to fake it. Let us
Yeah,
be real. right? So while my social media, you're in your point, you're talking about social media affecting how you could what you can get to in life, the fact that
Mhm.
you have a personal brand and all of those things. I found that it is very important that you also stick true to who you truly are, and that you use your social media in a way that you don't put out there a life that is not true. There are so many times, like, I know people, personally know people who are struggling financially. When I tell you struggling financially, like, all of us have had times. That's not to, put no
Mhm.
shade or something or anything on them. But the life that they put out on social media, any young person, you're out there in the hotels, you're drinking by the bar, you're not working, you don't have a 9 to 5, so it looking all nice. This microwave. I heard somebody refer to it as a microwave success. Nobody wants to work. Nobody wants the process anymore. You just want to put in the microwave and tap on. This kind of way. But in real life, you're struggling. In real
Maybe,
life, you're
maybe they
struggling.
maybe they manifested. Maybe manifestation. They
Talk
manifest
about
the life that they want.
manifestation and the stones and the stars now, please. Sorry, because there might be someone who believes in it, and we go get cancer. Well, I go get cancer because I have a problem with just sitting there manifesting and your actions and doing nothing. Let me just,
Thank you.
people out here just manifesting things. The actions say nothing, but you're manifesting. You understand? So I
But
just felt like, yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead. Yeah.
I just felt like the responsibility is also ours to ensure that because we end up fooling our own selves, and then we sit down in depression because what we have at the mere time someone figure out what our real life is, and we have to confront our real struggles. In as much as social media is not a real place, so many people make it real to them. Like, you make it about what is on social media, what you could post, when you could post it. And I have to learn not to find the balance, because I found myself, I made a commitment to myself. If I am not good, I'm not posting as if I am. And since I like to protect my business, as in my personal space and what is happening in my personal life, if I am not 100% or close, because I don't know that you'll ever be 100, but if I'm not good, if I'm not I not sit down here smiling, your biggest smile, and I know I rotting on the inside, like, it's a struggle. And then next thing you hear, some suicidal attempt, whatever, and everybody be like, but she was looking so, and she was so happy, and it seemed as if, and I
But
just find it
some
just a
people some people use social media as therapy too, though. Like, I mean,
true.
because at the end of the day, yeah, you might be going through something on the inside, and I know there are some instances where some people, they can find their tribe on social media. So it's like
Right.
you're in a particular community, in a physical space, and the people around you are like, you're not like them, you're different. And one could appreciate the fact that in the society that we grew up in, sometimes when you're the odd one out, you're the different one, people will make fun of you. And in some cases, not is that malicious, like kids, like when we kids growing up, like we just make fun of the guy with the weird deformity or whatever. And in many instances, yeah, people find social media has created an avenue where people can, like, find their tribe, where they can go online and they can sort of express themselves in a particular way to sort of alleviate what they
Sure.
what they inside, and that actually helps. So that sometimes is a good thing. But there is this whole, but what I agree with you on this notion that sometimes we present a curated
Mm-hmm.
version of our life on social media, a false curated version of our life on social media. And inadvertently, what we do is we sometimes have people looking on at this curated, false or fake reality version of our life, and then now they start feeling inadequate in
Yeah.
themselves, like, oh, Lena and I went to school together.
And look where
Look,
Lynn is.
look where Lynn is. Look where I am now. And then depression starts setting in for me. Now you might say, well, it is not. Well,
Right.
they are the one who chose to see it that way and to react that way. But I, like you rightly stated, I believe that we have a responsibility with the things that we post and do, because at the end of the day, people, I mean, you made a statement that social media is not a real place, but perception is reality for the perceiver. So for in many cases, it is as real as it
As
gets,
it gets. Yeah.
for a lot of people. So, but
No,
yeah, so I agree with you on the sense that, like, we just have to be very mindful of the
we
things
just
that we
have to be mindful.
that's what it is there.
No, I want to say about social media not being a real place. You see the thing that what you did, well, at least that's my perspective. What you did when you posted that video, that is what makes social media real. When you come in here and you are transparent, and we don't only see the curated good times, but we could also hear about the struggles, we could hear about the journey. That is what makes it a real place. And well, not just as you rightly say, the perception to the perceiver is as real as it gets.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say it. Not that is what makes it a real place, but that is what adds credence to the real
Mm-hmm.
place. That is
Mm-hmm.
what adds the sense of real reality to the real place. And it does justice to the real place that social media is. And I think more of us need to do more justice to the real place that social media is.
Correct.
Yeah, instead of sitting there and thinking we perfection is not what we think it is. Perfection is the process. There is perfection in the process. Perfection is not a destination, perfection is a journey. Right? So in as much as we think we're trying to get to perfection, the process is perfection. The fact that you're doing it is perfection. Today, well, last week we were talking on work again, and somebody said, "Well, and I'm not failing this year," and I was like, "Why?" I said, "Man, let us all fail." Everybody watched me like I was like, "Nah, what do you mean you're not failing?" I said, "So how you gonna learn?" So, so the
Yeah.
person was shocked. I said, "Man, let we all fail. The only thing we had to fail forward." So everybody
No,
watched.
I want to make a point here. I when I went to San Francisco, late last year, and I was at Draper University, and we had to see the pledge every morning, the Draper U pledge, and one of the lines is, "I will fail and fail again until I succeed." Like
Facts
that's one of the things. I will fail and fail again until I
until I
succeed.
succeed. Yeah.
So
And
I'm with you on that.
yeah, let's fail. Let's fail so that we can learn the lesson and we could get better. The next time we fail in bigger, we fail in upward. You understand? You can't, to me, there are certain things, there are hardships you can't be scared of. And last year taught me that, like, life is again, it's perspective because big things could happen. Like, a lot of big things happened for me last year. And there's one big thing that happened that was negative that like the whole year was gone, even though great things kept on happening. I couldn't even catch myself, and I was towards the end of last year, I was like, no, but this year was great. Notwithstanding that, this year was great. And you have to learn to see the greatness while the mess is happening, because that is what life is. Life is failure, life is process, life is lessons, and things happen. You have to be excited about the not so good as well, because
Yeah.
so much of your life is not so good and will be not so good. The world we're living in, a lot of your life will not be so good. Sadly, that's just it. That's how I
And,
see it.
and yeah, and that's just the way it is, right? That's
That's
just the
just
way
the
it
way it is. So what we going to cry every time it's not so good? We are sometimes we had to put on my little big girl panties, my little big boy boxers, and say, let it go. It's not so good. It's not so good. But something here happening, because if we fight, I've seen somebody deal with the not so good in a way that me, sir. I don't know if I could do it. But then in the not so good, you see so much good. In the not so good, you see so much development. You see yourself turning into things into people that you've never thought you could have been. So Embrace the not so good, embrace the failure, embrace the. That's why I have come to the conclusion that perfection is in the process. Perfection is the process. It's not the journey. The process is perfection. It is perfect that you are
Yeah,
here on this journey.
we are perfectly imperfect.
Facts.
And so great. Lynn, you know, this was great. I think that we need to have some more conversations like this.
We
I
do.
think that you might need to come and be an official co-host with me on the Drop Your Boss
On Giving
podcast.
Mondays, you know.
you know,
I
um,
mean, we've been
we, we,
saying,
we- yeah. So you're gonna have to come. We got to do some Get Real Mondays, dropping bars,
yeah,
crossovers, right? To have this candid conversations where you don't
uh,
have a topic per se. Because, I mean, we came on here with other topic per se, but I mean, we went in a place where I think it was very important to
yeah.
go. So, Bars Nation, thank you for tuning in to another installment of the Dropping Bars podcast. We were speaking there with Lynn Abraham Edwards, a friend of the podcast. And I mean, Lynn, uh, let us go and close this off with a word of wisdom.
Hmm. I mean, that last one there, because even while I was saying it, I was like, "Oh, girl, I hope you have you hear it." I'd drive that home because I don't think it is by chance that it was said that perfection is not in the destination; it's in the journey. um a lot of us, we try to make life out, and we outside here just trying to be perfect, trying to, you know everybody like me, live the life that. But sometimes we have to be okay with the down times. We have to learn to be okay with the failure. We have to learn to be okay with the journey. Know it will all work out for the good if you apply yourself to it. It don't just miraculously work out to the good, eh? You just have to do some self application, and work is necessary, but it
Mhm.
can all work out for you good.
Fabulous, fabulous. So, Boss Nation, thank you for tuning in again to another episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast wherever you're consuming it on, whether it's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, wherever you're consuming the podcast. Like, subscribe, share, leave a review as well. To help the podcast get some vibe. Leave a review, leave a 5-star review.
Five, five,
Give me-
please.
yeah, give me
Five.
a give me a little five. Give me a little five. Give me the thing. All right. So, again, Mars Nation, thank you for tuning in again. I will see you next week for another episode of the Drop In Bars podcast. Peace out, everybody.